Welcome to the One Day Business Acceleration Retreat. This experience is designed to help women founders just like you plan and execute the exponential growth of your business. Only 3% of all women-led businesses cross the chasm of generating $1 million or more in annual revenues, and only 2% are funded through venture capital. These statistics are shocking, given that women are also known for delivering a higher return on capital and for being better able to handle major disruptors in business. The One Day Business Acceleration Retreat is your entryway into breaking through the barriers of exponential growth by helping you build a purpose-led and visionary plan to inspire your team, also guiding you to discover specific, repeatable actions that will create traction, more prospects, more customers, more sales. I am Coco Selman, 5-time founder, impact investor, creator of the Force for Good business system, and your host on this transformative journey. Women-led business is the most powerful, innovative force in the world. With purpose-led leaders like you at the helm, we can lead in both impact and profit. The future of business is women. This is our time. Let's make the world better through business. Hello, and welcome to the One Day Business Acceleration Retreat. It is my pleasure and honor to hold the space for you as you create a plan to have a breakthrough in your business. So this is a one-day business acceleration retreat. It's a great way to begin the profound journey of elevating every aspect of your business in all the ways that you imagine. So finally being able to create the scale and profit that you envision, building a beloved company that both your customers and teammates really cherish, fostering a culture that is kind, innovative, collaborative, and high performing, and ultimately creating a profitable, sustainable business that flourishes beyond its original founders. This is why we created the Force for Good system. The perfect place to start is with this one-day business acceleration retreat designed for you to be able to implement in just one afternoon and immediately start moving forward and creating progress in the direction that you desire. In this experience, we're going to help you gain clarity on exactly what you want to create in terms of a breakthrough in the next 12 months. Every business is ripe for a breakthrough. It's just a question of discovering what that is, stepping off the hamster wheel of your business and focusing on the one thing that if you had a breakthrough there, it would make all the difference. So today in this series, we're going to help you do that. We're going to then help you create a path to get there, a very simple, streamlined plan that includes a certain level of complexity, and then be able to take really clear next actions to help you have potent results. A business, as you know, is incredibly simple. So we create products, programs, systems, services that add value to the world. And then we go out and we sell them. And if we're lucky, we can make a profit, right? It's simple in nature, but also deeply complex. Every single business has its unique blueprint, its unique facets, strengths, and weaknesses. So in this one-day workshop, we're going to home back to the most simple and essential building blocks, get those moving, and help you craft a system ongoing. We're going to have a one-day business acceleration retreat. You're going to craft your 12-month breakthrough plan, and then you're going to launch a weekly acceleration meeting. And in that process, you're going to develop some quick wins, start to really have clarity, move your team in a particular aligned direction where results are going to occur, new results, progress. So this one-day workshop is a way to lift off quickly, easily. In the process, you're going to envision a better future. In episodes 2 through 4, you're going to unleash your core purpose, unlock your company vision, and discover what your most needed breakthrough is. Then in episodes 5 through 9, you're going to build an actionable plan. Actionable is key here. And that's in episodes 5 through 9. So you're going to conduct a simple SWOT: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. You're going to design a quarterly map. You're going to chart your 30-day goals. You're going to establish key performance indicators and design a weekly dashboard. And then in the last episode number 10, you're going to launch the weekly acceleration meeting, which is what's going to keep it all going. We're going to provide you support along the way to manifest your next envision future and use the same recipe over and over again. So today I invite you to set aside 3 uninterrupted hours to complete the workshop. Do it alone with your team, or have your team do it by themselves and then meet together and then discuss it. That's a great way to do this. Download the companion workbook, www.aforceforgood.biz/retreat. Download the companion workbook and the template, and you'll be able to fill it out. You're going to come together with a 1-day plan out of this, and you're going to have a dashboard, and you'll be able to move everything forward every week, making progress. The whole Force for Good system is really about rapid innovation. It's about creating a space where it's safe to try things, create a draft that's not perfect, and then come back to it and iterate and improve it. This is designed to help you quickly create a design, a plan, a map, and a breakthrough, and then iterate over time. Progress, not perfection, is the name of the game. Without further ado, let's go into the first workshop of getting your core purpose in place. We are going to focus on core purpose. Oh, my favorite topic. It really is. I really believe, and hopefully by the end of this experience, you discover incredible empowerment through purpose. So here we are working on the envision future of your business. And the first step is to make sure that you have a very clear core purpose for your company. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to talk about what that is. And then I'm going to lead you through an exercise that goes right along with the companion manual. You can follow right along. You'll be able to come through with your drafted core purpose if you don't already have one. Even if you do, I encourage you to do the exercise so that you can reconnect your heart, soul, mind, body, spirit with the core reason that your business exists. Your core purpose answers the most important question, which is why. Why does your company exist? What is the transformation you hope to deliver to each and every customer you serve? What is the function, the reason why, what they can receive, and why you work as hard as every member of your team works as hard as they do, and why you have built and invested in this incredible endeavor. Core purpose is the reason you created your company. It's the reason the blood, sweat, and tears are worth it. It's the reason you get out of bed every day. It fosters for you a reason to keep moving, take risks, put everything on the line, and make all the sacrifices that you will make on your journey, as I'm sure you already have. And it's the real power, the real work of your company. That's what the purpose really is. Why have a core purpose? And the Force for Good system, part of what we do is we don't just talk about the philosophy of having purpose, but we create systems and tools and methods to implement the core purpose throughout your entire organization. That is what makes your business truly remarkable and transformational. It's what creates a beloved business customers cherish. Employees come and work in your company because they have discovered one of the most important needs, which is meaning. Core purpose gives everyone on the team, yourself included, a reason why. It's a reason that also inspires your customers. It's a reason that makes them feel like what you are doing matters. You're special and unique because the transformation you promise is so special. Purpose isn't what you do, it's why you do it. Often we see mission statements which tell us what we do, but really this is about something more. So here's some examples. AT&T is to inspire human progress through the power of communication and entertainment. To inspire human progress. Doesn't sound like what they do. It inspires human progress. Chief is an organization for women executives and business owners. Their purpose is to drive more women into positions of power and keep. It's not what they do. They're a networking organization. Notice Coca-Cola. Their core purpose is to refresh the world and make a difference. Okay. It is what they hope to do through the work of their brand and their business. eBay to empower people and create economic opportunity for all. I get chilled, right? The purpose of it isn't to create an online place for people to go and buy or sell stuff. It is to create economic opportunity for all. Mary Kay Cosmetics, it's been around for a long time. And their core purpose is to give unlimited opportunity to women. I just think that's beautiful. Walt Disney is another one that I always just love, and its core purpose is to make people happy. Again, says nothing about how they do what they do. It's not their mission. It's not their values. It's the transformation they hope to deliver to every single customer every single day. It's aspirational in its qualities. It always keeps you moving forward. Now, what I'd like to invite you to do is we're going to move right into the workshop. This workshop, this is an essential piece of what we do in each of these episodes, because here it's not about just hearing me speak. It's about helping you connect to your higher wisdom. So just take a moment and put your feet on the floor. Take a moment to put your hands flat on the space in front of you. Just let yourself get grounded. Transformational leaders connect not just to their minds, but to their hearts, to their souls, right? When we bring our full brilliance to the table and our team members do the same, transformation occurs, breakthroughs happen, progress occurs, innovation happens in life. And we spend most of our time in our thinking head. What I would invite you to do in this workshop today and throughout this experience is to drop into your heart, into your body, incorporate the thinking, the feeling, which is the sensory system, the body self, and the knowing self. That's the part of you that's wise. I'm going to give you a series of questions, and I'm just going to invite you to listen within, breathe into your heart, and hear the answers. Think about, why did you start this business? Take a moment to jot down, reflect, write down the reasons why you were inspired to start this organization. If you didn't found the organization, why did you join it? What did you hope would be possible? Keep breathing. Right. Take a deep breath. Turn to your heart. Sense the part of you that is wise. And ask yourself, what gets you up each day? What do you hope the impact will be on the community, the people, the customers you serve? What do you hope will be the positive impact created through this business on the people you serve? And now just take a moment and reflect on the transformation you hope So imagine your customer coming into the company, whether they come online or into a retail space or meet them in a conference or in a meeting. Imagine them coming into your business, touching those people who might interact with them or the technology they might interact. Imagine where they start and what their challenges are, the reasons why they are looking for your business, your solutions. And just let yourself see what is the transformation they would like. What is the transformation your customer hopes to receive? What is the solution to the problem that they have? How are you and your business going to elevate their experience, their life, their needs? Write it all down. Keep breathing. What do you feel could be the good you hope to deliver to them? What's the goodness you hope to deliver to them? What kind of goodness, service, care, experience? And what is the knowledge you hope to deliver? What new insights or information? What knowledge or skills or forms of excellence do you hope to bring to the table to this customer? And just notice in what ways your company is in pursuit of excellence, perfection, or some elevated form of beauty. What ways is your company in pursuit of excellence or some other form of beauty? Are you creating for that customer? And is there a heroic change? A heroic change you would like to ensure they receive? A heroic benefit for them? How do they want to be a hero? How can you help them be a hero? How can you help them create a change? How can you help them heal or overcome? Write down all the ways you are creating transformation through your business for your customer. Breathe deeply. And now just ask yourself, what drives your belief in your company? What do you do that is unique or different about your business compared to others in your market? What drives your belief in your company versus what is it that you do what is the outcome that you create different? The transformation that you provide that's different. All right, so now just take a moment to breathe and take a moment to hear all your wisdom. Thought about why you started the business or why you joined the company. Thought about what gets you out of bed every day. What is it that you hope will be created for each customer? The impact, the transformation that you want to make available to each customer, the good, the knowledge, the beauty, the heroic journey. And you've thought about what drives your belief in your company. And now, just jumping off from all these questions, just go ahead now, take a risk, take a leap, and write the core purpose of your company. Core purpose of your company is to make the world better through business, happy, transform economics of the world, create economic policy. What is it to empower women? What is it that your core purpose is? Take a moment and write down some options. And just trust yourself. Trust yourself written down is the perfect place to begin. You'll have plenty of opportunities to refine, but by giving yourself the gift of writing something down, moving through the ideas into thought, into written word, you're creating reality, creating more definition. And that definition is what's going to drive your business forward. So go ahead and thank yourself. Congratulations. You did it. You created a draft of your core purpose. And now we're going to move on. So this iterative process will continue on, but you might have landed it already. You might have already figured it out and give yourself that possibility. That's all for now. We're going to move on to the next episode. Get yourself a glass of water, maybe do a little shake, get some fresh air, come back, and we're going to go to the next topic, which is your company vision. Can't wait. See you in a minute. Is your business ready to accelerate? Take the Business Acceleration Readiness Assessment today and find out now at www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz. Take the 5-minute assessment and you will receive an instant response on the 4 essential areas of alignment needed for business growth. You will also receive 4 free tools specific to your situation to help you and your team accelerate success right away. Go to www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz and find out what you can do to accelerate, impact, scale, and profit today. Welcome back. We're on to episode 3. We're going to focus in on the vision of your business. And this is another really exciting concept and so important in that first step of envisioning a brighter future, right? Because we're looking towards the long-term horizon so we can say, this is where we're going. This is what we want to create. So this is the next step in the one-day business acceleration retreat. Make sure you go to www.aforceforgood.biz/retreat and get a copy of the companion guide and head on to the workshop for episode 3, which is company vision. So what is a company vision? The picture of a brighter, better world created through the intentional impact of your company over a long period of time. So if your business were to be around for a decade, 100 years from now, and every single day, you and every single one of your team members dedicated to the core purpose, whatever that was, to make people happy, to make the world a better place, to inspire and empower women, create economic opportunity, whatever that core purpose is. And if everybody in the business does that, and every service that you create, every product you develop becomes a messenger for that purpose, the world is going to change, right? Over time, lives will be transformed. There will be a domino effect. There will be things in the world that today no longer exist because this other result, this other visioned reality will become real. The company vision looks over the course of 100 years and says, what's the different world your company is creating? It's the long-term picture of your core purpose actualized in the world. And your organization will never complete this vision. It's an aspirational, on the horizon, forever on the horizon kind of vision, kind of picture. something you will work towards for as long as you live. And others in the world will be working towards a similar common vision. You and generations of others will contribute to the call of this vision. Your job, your role in the business is to expand your impact so that it contributes to that vision in as big a way as it possibly can. We'll dedicate full commitment of the organization to moving this vision forward. So when you think about your core purpose, it's telling you this is the transformation we want to create every day. It's the reason why we exist. Company vision says where we're going, where we're headed. So we're going to measure every decision. Everything we do is going to be measured about whether or not it's going to be in the service of this vision, help us create the transformation, the goodness, the beauty, the brilliance, the excellence, the sustainability, whatever your business is about. So I invite you to think of your vision as you filling in this blank. We stand for a world where, fill in the blank. So company X stands for a world where, and you fill in the blank. So I'm going to give you a couple of notable examples of companies that have a vision. And again, you'll see how it speaks to the world in the future, the change that will be made. It paints a picture of where you want to go. And it also includes a sense of feeling and how you would feel about a world that's transformed. So Amazon, it's interesting. Their vision is to be the Earth's most customer-centric company. About that. It's the most customer-centric company. Notice how they've created that in their business. Every choice has led them to that. To build a place where people can come to find and discover anything they might want to buy online. That's their vision. Think about how they've manifested that over these years. Caterpillar, right? Maker of big machines that do construction. I love their vision. Our vision is a world in which all people's basic needs, such as shelter, clean water, sanitation, food, and reliable power, are fulfilled in an environmentally sustainable way. How cool is that? Okay, so they're seeing they have these tools and these machines, but they see these tools and machines as a way to create all people's basic needs to be filled: shelter, clean water, sanitation, food, and reliable power. Think about that. I love that. LinkedIn. Okay, so they have a vision, and it's to create economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. So notice they're probably not going to achieve that. They're probably not going to create economic opportunity for every single person in the global workforce, but they are dedicated to that. And that's what inspires them. They're driven by economic opportunity. Patagonia, right? One of these companies that we really think of as a force for good kind of business. All these businesses are, but Patagonia has been known for its social responsibility. Their vision is to use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis. Are they going to solve the environmental crisis? Probably not, but they are going to lead in all the ways that they can through their message, their platform, their power. They're going to create products, all of their jackets and sporting wear, hiking gear, in a way that is environmentally secure, safe, regenerative. So these are a few examples. It's important to see how they're creating a purpose in the future, a transformation in the future. They're standing for a world where this new possibility can emerge. And that's what it's about. I want you to think about how profound it is if every day you come to the office and everyone on your team comes to the office and they are living in service of a vision like that. It's super empowering, super powerful to have an idea of the transformation that you and your teammates are going to want to create. And that transforms how people do what they do. All right, so we're going to go right into the workshop. Again, we're going to take a moment to connect, right? Connecting to our hearts and bringing in not just our thinking selves, which we overuse in business. And we're going to access the part of us that's grounded in our physical being, has access to our heart, which is very wise, and has a sense for what creates transformation. Your heart knows what your people need in order to uplift them so they will move in the direction of your vision. Connect to your heart, connect to your knowing, the part of you that is wise beyond your physical capacity. Put your feet on the ground, your hands solid on the space in front of you. And imagine you could fast forward, close your eyes for a moment, breathe deeply, and fast forward 100 years into the future. Imagine year, 100 years into the future. And a culmination of all the aligned and empowered choices you and your team will have made over that 100 years. Imagine every day for 100 years, every hour for 100 years, you are dedicated to your core purpose. Imagine business evolves, grows, and transforms lives. What does the world look like 100 years from now when you consider all the ways your company has created goodness for your customers, your team members, your expanded community? Take a moment and write down. What do you hope will be different in the world? What is the relief you see built into the world? What is the healing you see? Say where you might have, your business might have created more happiness, more joy. Just write down 100 years, the changes that are made possible through your business. How is society different? How is your industry different because of your positive leadership? What are all the ways that your business is a force for good? Take a moment to read what you wrote down, allow it to soak into your heart. And trust that you have everything you need to write down your vision. Start with the words, we stand for a world where. My company stands for a world where. Becomes possible. What is present in the world that is not present now? Listen deeply. Trust the words that are coming down. Write them down. Let them be. Take a moment to acknowledge and honor yourself. Let yourself feel complete. Let yourself feel the gift of completion today, your mission. Let that be enough. Remember that you will be able to iterate again and again in the future, and you are manifesting an idea that was perhaps before up there in your mind, but not fully articulated on the page. That language is going to give you power, clarity, certainty, confidence. Going to give you a North Star. And I promise you'll have plenty of time to iterate and fine tune it and involve your leadership team to help you find the exact words. But for right now, give yourself the gift of completion so you can move forward. All right, congratulations. It's time to move on to the next episode, where we're going to go from big picture down to a little bit more near term. And we're going to look at the next 12 months and identify a 12-month break. Can't wait. See you in a few. Take the Business Acceleration Readiness Assessment today and find out now at www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz. Take the 5-minute assessment and you will receive an instant response on the 4 essential areas of alignment needed for business growth. You will also receive 4 free tools specific to your situation to help you and your team accelerate success right away. Go to www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz and find out what you can do to accelerate, impact, scale, and profit today. Hi there. Welcome back. The next big topic is the 12-month breakthrough goal. This is the final aspect of envisioning a brighter future for your business. So always make your future better than your past, brighter than your past. It's a Dan Sullivan quote. This is essential for good business. Every business, every business leader, you want to be constantly moving your company towards a brighter future. And in the absence of that, you have very shallow reasons to grow, to evolve, to achieve all the great things you hope to achieve. So it's essential that you provide this brighter future for your team and for yourself so that you have the motivation, the energy, and the alignment to know where you're headed. We've talked about the core purpose, the reason why your company exists, and your company vision, which is where you're headed really long term, over 100 years. Your core purpose manifested over many decisions and choices and evolutions and successes. And now we're going to look at what do we need to do in the next 12 months? What is the breakthrough we need to have? In the full Force for Good system, we do other things before we get to the breakthrough, but it's an essential piece. And so this is why I include it here in this introduction to the Force for Good system, in this 1-day acceleration retreat. It is what drives your business to have a constant breakthrough, a breakthrough that's connected to your purpose and your vision. It's not just breakthrough for breakthrough sake, but the most needed essential breakthrough. Every year, you and your company have an invitation to stage a massive breakthrough. What do I mean by breakthrough? It's the opportunity to move forward in a massive way to create greater impact, scale, and profit. So contemplate this for a moment. Every year is an opportunity to experience unprecedented growth, innovation, and resolution to a problem that has befuddled you, a challenge you haven't been able to figure out. If you and your team apply deliberate force to any one single breakthrough for an entire 12 months, you will make progress. Think about that. No matter what stage of business you're in, whether you are an existence company that's just barely getting off the ground, or a surviving company, or a scaling company, or an impact company, you are always in need of a breakthrough. Every business always is in need of a breakthrough. Let these questions drift in your mind as we go deeper to help you explore and identify the number one breakthrough you need to have in your company the next 12 months. So, which one outcome at your company would change everything? If you solved X, everything else would be easier. Which problem, when finally solved, would make every other challenge easier? What is the single primary breakthrough that would catapult your company to the next level? This 12-month goal is a SMART goal. It's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable with innovation. So we want to, it's not 100%. It should make you a little uncomfortable. It certainly will make your team members uncomfortable to go a little bit, right? Transformational leaders make everybody have to stretch. Transformation means change. Achievable with innovation is a 12-month breakthrough goal, should be a stretch goal that inspires growth. Okay. Every person in the entire building has to change, has to grow, including you. It should feel about 80% realistic and attainable. And to achieve the critical goal, you consciously acknowledge it will require some level of investment in resources, skills, and systems. It should feel like a doable stretch. The 12-month breakthrough goal should be the most important goal of your year. It needs to align with the broader objectives of your business, your values, priorities, your core purpose, your vision. And it's also time bound a year from now, or you can decide on a date that's about a year from now that allows you to create the breakthrough that you are wanting to see. We are going to look at 3 different areas and brainstorm in each of these 3 areas. You might already have a sense of what it is, but go through this exercise, because the exercise of helping you look at these 3 areas will help you develop later on your strategy and your plan, right? First, we look at purpose-led goals. So what's the positive impact you hope you can achieve in the next 12 months within the community you serve? How do you hope to enrich the lives of customers in the next 12 months? What improvements would you like to see delivered at a larger scale with customers and clients? And how will you know 1 year from now your company has been living its core purpose at its most essential level over the next 12 months? I invite you to start to brainstorm. This workshop's a little different. I'm going to give you information. And as I give you information, I'm going to pause in certain moments and invite you to settle into your heart, hear your guidance from within, listen to the part of you that knows, and then quickly write down. So we're using the Pomodoro method here, where we have a short amount of time that I'm going to give to you. You're going to brainstorm. You're going to let ideas come to page. And then we're going to take those brainstorms and transform them, sort of cull them down until we find a single breakthrough goal. So when you think about impact goals, 12-month impact goals, how are you making the world better? It's an impact goal is intersection between the good you want to create in society and the financial success your company needs to survive and thrive. It's grounded in your core purpose and vision. It's an extension of all the stories you tell about your company, and it's the pinnacle of what you stand for. Places you might look for impact goals, right? Now we're just brainstorming goals. And the end of this, you'll have one that's the most important, but you'll also probably have others you realize are important too. So what are your volume growth goals? This volume growth scale is a measure of impact. Where does volume growth intersect with the impact you want to create? How many customers, people, businesses, communities do you hope will achieve the desired result your company hopes to bring? Write down a few possible goals. Examples would be in 12 months, we aim to increase access to complex care nursing patients from 200 to 250 patients in the state of Connecticut. It's measurable and achievable. In 12 months, we will help 1,000 new households experience the beauty and pride of having glorious garden created from our responsibly sourced bulbs. These are two examples. The next would be, what are the customer results you would like to see over the next 12 months? So think about your customer. What's the specific impact you would like your product, services, offering solutions to bring to the community or customer you serve? In what ways would you like to deepen your impact delivered to each of your customers? What's a specific measurable outcome that you would like for each of your customers to experience? Write down, brainstorm all these possible impact goals that could happen in 12 months. One example would be, in 12 months, our goal is to have 100 existing customers double their profitability using ABC software. Another would be, in 12 months, our goal is to help 100 women entrepreneurs apply for and receive angel investment funding. Okay, so these are impact, right, and scale. Is there a social benefit you would like to link to the growth of your company? Is there a cause your company would like to dedicate itself to serving? Would you like to link each sale to a specific donation you would make? An example of that kind of a 12-month impact goal would be, over the next 12 months, for every dish of ice cream we serve, we will donate a meal to the Torrington Homeless Shelter. Our goal is to feed 100,000 people over the next 12 months, right? So that's an example. Tom Shoes, right? They did that. Every purchase, they gave a pair of shoes to someone in need who did not have shoes. Okay, the other way to look at impact, is there an internal transformation that would significantly elevate your company over the next 12 months? Maybe you need to make a change to your product or service. Maybe you want your company to evolve in some way, and this change would be both beneficial to your bottom line and to your constituents. It could be an internal transformation that you want to inspire your team towards, a digital transformation, a technology transformation. Examples would be, our goal is to move 10% of our manufacturing from overseas to the USA and generate 100 jobs at home in the next 12 months. Another would be, our aim is to engage and retain 85% of our nursing team year over year, and to grow from 1,000 nurses to 1,200 nurses. So I'm in the nursing business, right? So that's why I have these examples. So what is the impact goals for your company, right? What's the intersection between the positive impact, the purpose you want to deliver, and how you can build financial strength? So that's the first area. Finish writing your list of possible impact goals over the next 12 months. And now we're going to move over to constraints. Constraints are where you need breakthrough. What stops your growth is a constraint. Constraints hold your company back, keep you from growing. Common constraints might be limited capital, inefficient systems or processes, oftentimes marketing, sales, something related to supply chain. Maybe you have an abundance of customers, but you can't produce it fast enough. Lack of innovation. You're not producing the product or services you need as quickly as you want. Inadequate marketing, poor online presence, low conversion of your social media, limited market understanding. Maybe there's changing market needs. Maybe you don't have a clear understanding of your customer needs, preferences, and trends. There could be a talent shortage. That's in my business. That's our number one constraint all the time. Not enough nurses. Ineffective sales channels, right? So whatever online retail partnerships, however you sell, something is ineffective, not enough customers to create the impact you desire or the profitability. There could be some regulatory and compliance challenges in my business. That's always also an issue. There could be customer satisfaction issues, supply chain bottlenecks, limited geographic reach. So there's lots of different things here that you could consider in the companion book. So write down for yourself, what are the things that are stopping your business from growing? What's holding you back from creating the impact and the profitability that you long for? Brainstorm on constraints. We want to write those down because a 12-month goal could be that you're going to bust through one of them. As you look at your list, circle the top 3 or 4 constraints that are really holding you back. And boy, if you could solve for that, if you could increase your conversion rate, where you could hire enough nurses, improve your yield of prospects to people that actually buy something, right? What's that constraint that if you solved it would make such a difference? And then the last area we look for is growth accelerators. These are the key strengths or opportunities that, when leveraged or amplified, promote growth. Accelerators could be specific actions, tactics, or systems already churning. There are things that you already do well that if you accelerated or amplified it, you would see a noticeable result. So it could be that you have this really great salesperson who has remarkably high sales conversion. So that's an accelerator. How they do what they do could be replicated. A specific Facebook ad that brings twice the number of prospects, that is an accelerator. Time of day that yields the best results for outbound sales calls. Particular product or service that customers love and buy and buy and buy again. A specific aspect of your product that customers value and appreciate. A specific feature or benefit customers or employees report would be of high value. Other accelerators that you can look into are things like you could expand into a new market. You could have a product or service innovation. You could expand on your customer enrollment and retention efforts. There could be a strategic partnership or alliance. These are all opportunities. You could look at ways to optimize your internal process and scale. Write down all the things you could possibly do in the next 12 months to accelerate your business. What's the action that is leading to the result you want? Maybe you need to do more of that action. You need more time for that and more resources dedicated to that. Talent acquisition and development, how you can become better at that, could be an accelerator in your business. Strategic pricing, territory expansion, digital transformation, branding and reputation. These are all accelerators. Write down all of those accelerators, and now you have the list. Think about those accelerators and circle the 3 to 5 accelerators that you could really get those churning over the next 12 months. And you see the constraint, which ones are that if you could transform them, have a breakthrough with that in the next 12 months, and also in your impact goals, right? So now as we start to think about those different areas, remember your core purpose. Write down your core purpose. I know it seems silly, but write it again. Write it down so it's in your present. The reason your company exists and your company vision. Why and where your company is going. Why your company exists and where it's going. Core purpose, vision. And now just take a few moments, breathe into your heart. You've thought of all these various things that you'd like to achieve over the next year. I'm going to invite you to expand out a little bit further to 3 years. Think out 3 years from now. So think of the date, right? What is that date? Allow your awareness to have all of those possible impact goals, possible constraints solved, possible accelerators implemented. Write down 3 years, 5 to 8 milestones you hope to achieve, 5 to 8 goals. Stretching out beyond 12 months into 3. What would you like you and your team to be able to achieve? Align purpose, your vision, impact, constraint. You to create. Nice work. 3 years out. Okay. we're going to bring it into 12 months again. You write 5 to 8 milestones to achieve in the next 12 months. Yeah. If you want to achieve the next 3 years, what part of that can you achieve in 12 months? Created, manifested, achieved. Impact goals created. Well, constraint. Accelerators. Nice. All right, now the next 12 months, in order to achieve your 3-year and 12-month milestones, write down constraints, challenges, bottlenecks need to be overcome. Next year. What is most important? Write down what's has to be overcome. Circle your top three constraints. Good. Now it's, again, if you're achieve those 3-year milestones, there's 12-month milestones. Things need to accelerate. Here. What specific strengths and opportunities must be figured out, utilized, leveraged, amplified in the next 12 months? Just write down which ones. Breathe deeply. You don't have to do it all. So just circle the top 3. You've done your part. You already know what the answer is. Take a moment to your heart, your spirit, your mind, your knowing, to your core purpose, company vision, your 3-year milestones, your 12-month milestones, key constraints you would like to overcome in the next year, key accelerators, and let yourself just moment, see which one breakthrough will be the most meaningful to your business. Next one could solve that one thing. It would solve so many. It would make everything easier. So go ahead and write down what it is. The 12-month. Very good. Congratulations. Just give yourself confidence, clarity, and completion. You can iterate that. But right now you have the answer. It's clear. You've chosen a breakthrough goal. Any of them are going to help. So trust that this is the one that you're going to really dedicate your energy to. What we talk about in the Force for Good system is 10x the energy of any other goal is your 12-month break. Give yourself a moment of applause. Allow yourself to feel the envisioned future you have created. Feel the knowledge and the clarity that you didn't have before. You now have a core purpose, vision, and now you have a 12-month breakthrough goal that will help you accelerate your business. All right. So excited. We're going to go on to the next workshop in just a minute. The next episode, episode 5, is about the simple SWOT. It's going to be super easy, super fast. All right. See you soon. Take the Business Acceleration Readiness Assessment today and find out now at www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz. Take the 5-minute assessment and you will receive an instant response on the 4 essential areas of alignment needed for business growth. You will also receive 4 free tools to help you and your team accelerate success right away. Go to www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz and find out what you can do to accelerate, impact, scale, and profit today. Hi there. Welcome to episode 5. Now we're embarking on the second stage of our journey, right? First stage was to envision a brighter future. Now we are building an actionable plan. In these next episodes, we will be building that plan. In this episode, we're going to do a simple SWOT analysis. In the next episode, episode 6, you're going to design a quarterly map. Then you're going to have 30-day goals, key performance indicators, and design a weekly dashboard. So all these things are going to give you the ability to take empowered action, what I like to call highest and best use action. We always want to wake up every day in service of the purpose, the vision, the breakthrough, and this method of building your plan in this actionable way will give you and every single member of your team the ability to be of highest and best use, highest service, right? And here's the thing. There's highest and best use, and there's the hamster wheel, right? The hamster wheel is necessary. The hamster wheel is what's creating your current situation, your current outcomes. The hamster wheel is all the operational things you do every day, your habits. You get on your computer, look at your email, get on a phone call at 3:00 and review customer service complaints. That is your hamster wheel. In order to produce new results, we need to move into new actions. We need to create new actions, new results. And so this section is going to help us identify exactly what we need to do in order to produce a new result. And it's going to say, all right, here's the hamster wheel, and you're going on the hamster wheel, and somebody still has to make sure that the trains run on time, the toilets get cleaned, and the phone calls get answered, and product gets shipped. That's the hamster wheel. But you also need to make sure that you're making progress on your 12-month breakthrough. Breakthrough will not happen without different action. So we're going to start with the simple SWOT. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The reason we do a SWOT analysis, we look at the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that exist in your organization right now. And that gives you an indication of how you should proceed. Any business at any moment in time has a different set of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So therefore, your highest and best use, what you need to do next in order to create the breakthrough you're looking for, it evolves over time. So we start with a SWOT, but it's important to recognize how important it is in the process of innovation and empowering your team members to consistently be in the conversation and discussion of what's working, what's not, what opportunities could we tap into, that where could we make investment, where do we need to scale back. So I find that SWOTs happen all the time. People are thinking about them all the time when they're putting together their plan. But it is really helpful when you sit down with your team and you have a facilitated SWOT discussion. So very few conversations are as exhilarating, collaborative, thought-provoking, empowering, engaging. Sit down with your people in the field and do a SWOT analysis on your breakthrough or on some part of a challenge. And you will see people really get engaged because they are helping create transformation. They're helping create the answer to the puzzle. And they're the ones who know, really. You might have an idea of what your strengths are, but involving others is really, really great. So the heart of every SWOT lives the question, what do we do now? So action, it's helping us design the plan that tells us which actions we should focus on in order to produce the breakthrough goal. That's the question. What can we do to achieve our 12-month breakthrough goal? In this simple SWOT, we're seeking the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that will most positively and negatively affect that goal. It is less important that we find an exhaustive list of all the strengths of the company, all the weaknesses, all the opportunities, all the threats. It's more important that you really home it down into the most essential, impactful elements that will most directly drive or hold back your 12-month breakthrough goal. The key is to be as specific as possible. So I was in a meeting recently with my clinical team. And as I mentioned previously, I'm in the healthcare business. And the question came up, how can we have a breakthrough in getting more nurses into the field? We need more nurses taking care of patients. And so everybody said, okay, we need more prospects. How do you know that's what we need? How are you sure? Is it prospects we need, or do we need to improve our yield between interview and who gets interviewed and which ones are qualified? Who gets offered a job? Who says yes and shows up to orientation? Who makes it all the way out to the field? The more specific you can be, and sometimes when we start, we don't know. We don't know where the problem is. We don't know where we need to make an improvement or where we need to create support. But the more specific you can be, the better. Is it that your sales funnel gets stuck when you get lots of people coming to the website, but nobody's filling in the opt-in, or after they do the opt-in, they're not coming back and taking part in the next step? So be as specific as you possibly can when you're doing SWOT analysis. It will help you pinpoint exactly where you need to focus your attention. All right, so we're going to go right into it. And this is a brainstorming exercise, right? So you're going to do this on your own if you'd like right now, or in a group. With brainstorming, no idea is a bad idea, right? We're going to focus first on our strengths. Think first and foremost as you come into the space, and again, connect your heart. Trust your mind. Trust your knowing. Trust your senses. And allow yourself to focus on your core purpose, the reason your company exists. What's the vision you are creating? 100 years from now, the transformation available to the world that you're working towards every single day. Let yourself see and feel the connection between the 12-month breakthrough and how that will help you deliver the core purpose and move towards the vision. Feel that connection. Right now, start to think of all the strengths that you have within your business to help you achieve that 12-month breakthrough goal. Write them down. What are your strengths? What are the people who have particular value, information, knowledge, success? Teams that could really help you. What's their strength? What are they good at? What are the systems that could help? Here's the systems that are in place already that could be leveraged, utilized, amplified. Systems that are already really good. What technology do you have in place? About what strengths in your reputation could help you achieve your 12-month breakthrough. About your customer service. How could that help you? What about the strengths of your product, your solutions, services you sell? What about your production line? your supply and delivery process, marketing, your sales. Specifically, what are your strengths that can help you achieve your 12-month breakthrough? Well done. Go ahead now and circle the top 3 strengths that, when harnessed, can most impact daily, weekly progress on your 12-month breakthrough goal. Top 3. If you really focused on those and amplified those, they could really help you. Ones that could be actionably used to your benefit. Okay, now we're going to go into weaknesses. What are the weaknesses that are holding you back from achieving your 12-month breakthrough? What are the weaknesses of your company that are most impeding progress on your 12-month goal? What's going to stop you? Is there a team that doesn't have full capacity, knowledge, experience? Is there a system that is not working? Is there a technology everybody hates to use? Is there some part of your product or your service that's stopping you? Thing that a weakness in your product, service, or solution? Is there a weakness in your sales, your marketing? Is there a weakness in your ability to connect with your audience? Have a clear, unique value proposition? What are your weaknesses? Do you have the resources you need? The funding, the time, people to achieve this 12-month goal? Write down everything that is stopping or could stop you in this year ahead. Okay, get them all out. Do you have enough? Do you know? Do you have the data? Do you have metrics that can help you deduce what the actual problem is? What are the specific problems? Not enough funding for what? Not enough funding to do X. If you had funding to do X, that'd make a big difference. If you had a person who could do X, somebody who was really good at X, or if you could increase the number of prospects or suspects or opt-ins, what would that level of increase be? It's too few. How could that improve you? So think about, you've just written down a whole bunch of weaknesses. Circle the 3 that are most detrimental to the 12-month goal. The 3 that left unresolved will most impede progress, hold you back. Nice work. All right, so now we're going to think about the opportunities. Opportunities are usually things that happen outside the business. However you want to brainstorm them and they come out, it's fine. Doesn't matter if it's internal, external. Goal here is to get as many ideas out as you can. What are the opportunities that could accelerate progress on this goal? Unfiltered. Write them all down. You had 10x the commitment or 10x the focus or time to do this thing, to pursue this opportunity, you'd have a breakthrough. Include opportunities that are within the company that haven't been fully utilized or optimized, like the marketing systems that need attention or sales lists that haven't been called on. Maybe you aren't using your prospect list as much as you could. It could also be external opportunities that would open up significant growth to your company. Maybe there's a trade show or a conference that, or maybe there's a mailing list that if you got access to, or if you hired or partnered with someone, it would facilitate your breakthrough. Don't get distracted thinking about all the opportunities out there. Home in on the opportunities that most directly excel. Now, again, circle the top three opportunities, right? Your brain is creating strategy, clarity, act of writing things down is helping you get things from outside of your head into words onto a page. When you start to talk about them with your team, you're going to create even greater clarity. Action. That's what. So now we're going to think about threats. What threats need attention and solutions to ensure they do not get in the way of your goal? Every business faces risks that affect its industry, its environment, the economics, the regulation, supply challenges, market disruption. It could affect your business. What are those threats? You're not quickly enough with AI in a way. Maybe there's this massive regulatory change coming, or maybe the interest rate level is affecting your business, or your ability to acquire more cash if you need to invest more cash, or you need more leverage. So, what are the threats that you're facing? What are the threats, risks? Again, sometimes in SWOT, people threats is only external to the business. Just write down what you're in, whatever way they come, and have them be focused on what's going to stop your goal from manifesting in the next 12 months. And circle three, the three top risks. And part of it is, sometimes they're just massive risks. I'm thinking about my own business right now in the healthcare, and we have this massive regulatory requirement. It's really important to know that we're going to have to allocate resources to that, but we still need to free up resources to create our breakthrough. Think about the pandemic. It was a massive disruption, and how easy it was to just tell ourselves time. The idea here is you're accounting for the threats that would distract us, that would keep us from doing what we want. We are going to achieve our 12-month goal, take the actions that we need, and give it the air and the oxygen and the love and the nurturance that it needs, the sunshine to achieve the goal. It doesn't matter if there's a pandemic where the interest rates change. It doesn't matter. We're going to still move forward. So we're accounting for these risks. So at the end of the day, you can't have the excuse that, wow, nursing shortage, or there was a problem in China and it couldn't ship any. Those are your risks. So now you have to overcome them. These are not reasons why you won't get to your goal. These are the things you need to make sure you overcome, right? To come up with a different way. So the three risks that could most distract you, just keep you from success, bottlenecks, and then you're just gonna make sure that you list all of those three. So I encourage you, if you haven't already, go to www.aforceforgood.biz/retreat, download the guidebook that comes with it, along with the template, the 1-day plan template. And you'll see there's a place to put your top three strengths to amplify, your top three weaknesses to overcome, top three opportunities you want to leverage, and the top three threats to mitigate. By all means, do this first on your own if you like, but do this with your team. Make sure everybody's aware of these things. Get their input, get their feedback, congratulate yourself. You've just identified your SWOT for your 12-month breakthrough goal. You've just achieved a massive amount. And notice how much clarity you're having now, right? About what's the question? What do I need to do in order to achieve my goal? All right. So enough on SWOT. Move forward now. I will see you in a few on the next episode, which is designing a quarterly. Thanks. We'll see you in a few. Take the Business Acceleration Readiness Assessment today and find out now at www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz. Take the 5-minute assessment and you will receive an instant response on the 4 essential areas of alignment needed for business growth. You will also receive 4 free tools specific to your situation to help you and your team accelerate success right away. Hi there. Welcome back. We are now moving on to the next important topic of creating a quarterly map. It's very simple. Thinking about your 12-month breakthrough and everything that will create its success over the next 4 quarters. So think about 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now. We're going to look at this in 3 different ways. First way you're going to look at it is, what does your progress look like related to your 12-month breakthrough goal specifically? What does progress on that goal look like? So in 3 months, where should you be? 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Start to write that down, what that looks like. How do you measure success on your breakthrough goal? If you're increasing the number of prospects from 1,000 per month to 2,000 per month, so today they're 1,000 and you want to break through and double them, where were you going to be in 3 months? Maybe you've gone from 1,000 to 1,200 prospects per month. Then in 6 months, maybe you're at 1,500. And at 9 months, maybe you're at 1,750. And in a year, you make it all the way to 2,000. So you want to think about progression of your breakthrough goal over the next 12 months by quarter. The second thing you want to think about is the performance improvements that are going to lead to your success. So you already know what the accelerators are, because you thought about them in our SWOT analysis. And you're going to know what the constraints are and what's really going to move things forward. What are those activities that will, if you improve the performance, would help with that 12-month? So maybe you need to increase the number of visitors to your page. In my business, it's all about hiring nurses. How do we have more interviews? If we have every month, we have 500 interviews, and in 12 months, we had, instead of 500 interviews, we have 3,000. We're going to have a massive breakthrough in the number of people we hire. So what are those precursors, those leading indicators that will drive success of your 12-month goal? Think about over the next quarters, what are those performance improvements going to look like? Now, number of X that you're going to have per week, per month, that will, if you had that performance level increased, guarantee your 12-month breakthrough goal. The third area to look at when thinking about your quarterly map and having breakthrough achieved is the system improvements that you need to make. So maybe you need a new CRM system, or maybe your existing financial system isn't tracking information properly, so you can't really measure how you're doing. Maybe that's something you need to improve. Maybe you need to implement a whole new sales strategy and hire a new sales director and have them implement that strategy, hire them in 3 months, implement a new strategy in 6 months, train people and hire 3 new salespeople, and in 9 months, have a fully operationalized team performing at a certain level that you define 12 months from now. Again, that would help you create and deliver the 12-month goal. So think about over the next 12 months, all the things you can do that will create that result and what milestones you're going to hit over those 12 months. So right now, go ahead and think about the first 3 months. What do you want to achieve in the first 3 months? Write it down. What are your milestones for the first 3 months? Where do you want to be on your 12-month breakthrough? Where do you want to see performance improvement? Measurable. What are the systematic improvements, the project that need to be implemented, the solutions improved? Just write them down, brainstorm. Okay, now think about where you're going to be 6 months from now, right? Halfway to your breakthrough goal. Where are you with your breakthrough? How do you measure its progress? What are its goals? What are the performance improvements? How have you amplified certain behaviors, activities, levels of performance? How have you improved your systems, your operations, your technology, your training, your team? Okay, now we're going to look at 9 months, 3/4 of your way to breakthrough. What has to be in place by? What does progress look like for your 12-month breakthrough goal? Notice how certain kinds of performance have improved. What is that measurable performance improvement 9 months from now? And what are the systematic improvements? System improvements, product improvements, service improvements, new ways of handling customer service, new hires, new strategies implemented, new recording systems in place. Okay, and now finally, let yourself see where you're going to be 12 months from now. You hit breakthrough. And what else is true? Where are you in your performance? What are those things that you achieved in those last 3 months that just made it happen? Performance improvements, system improvement. Nice work. Very nice work. So now the last step is to identify your 3 top goals for each quarter. So you want to map out your breakthrough goal, where you're going to be on that is your first goal for every quarter. And then the other 2 goals, you want to identify the key performance improvements. You want to see new results in place. Are there specific goals related to a project, to an outcome, deliverables, implementation? Pick the 3 biggest drivers you want to make sure are in place each quarter, and then thank yourself. You just created a map from where you are, where you want to be. Don't worry, you can improve it. You can iterate on it. You can get other people's feedback. You can verify and test. You can change it. But right now, you have done this incredible exercise of moving a concept into a plan. So congratulate yourself. Nice work. And now let's move on to the next episode. You're going to take this quarterly map and distill it down to a 30-day plan. So go ahead and take a quick break and come right back. See you in a few minutes. Is your business ready to accelerate? Take the Business Acceleration Readiness Assessment today and find out now at www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz. Take the 5-minute assessment and you will receive an instant response on the 4 essential areas of alignment needed for business growth. You will also receive 4 free tools specific to your situation to help you and your team accelerate success right away. Go to www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz and find out what you can do to accelerate, impact, scale, and profit. All right, welcome back. You've done it. You've gotten all the way to episode 7. You are a rock star. Honestly, you are a total rock star. Are you having the best time ever? Hopefully you are starting to feel an incredible sense of clarity about how you're going to get to this breakthrough. And just think about how quickly you were able to identify a better future, envision a better future for you and for your business and for your team. You were able to identify your core purpose, your vision, create a 12-month goal, really important 12-month breakthrough. And then you were able to say, okay, what are our strengths and weaknesses? How are we going to get there? And then create a quarterly map that reflects those strengths and weaknesses. And so now we're getting down to what needs to happen next, because the focus here, in order to build a business that is both impactful and profitable, requires higher level action. It requires incredible, clear thinking. It requires discipline to approach every day, knowing what to do to be of highest and best service of your goal. So we're getting closer to the clarity of what that is. And now we're at that moment where we're starting to think about 30 days. And 30 days is a really tangible time for you and for your team. So this is where you want to start to think about, how can we create exciting goals that when we achieve them, we're going to have celebrations, we're going to have breakthrough sessions. We're going to make these so that we can win them and make progress. We can reflect and see we're getting there and use that to drive momentum, use it to create clarity within the organization about what you're trying to achieve. And in every moment that you can reiterate in your own mind and in the mind of your team that this 30-day set of goals, 3 goals, these are connected to completion of your vision and your purpose. They're directly aligned. And the breakthrough that you're going to have is what's going to catapult your business to the next level. What happens in the next 30 days has the power to create its own breakthrough. Every month gives you an opportunity for breakthrough, and that gives you 12 breakthroughs every single year to create one big breakthrough a year. That's what we want to focus on. What are those things that you would like to achieve with your team, and who in your team is going to be the accountable, responsible owner of each goal? Your 30-day goals are aligned with your quarterly map. So you're going to home in on what is my first quarter goals. There's 3 goals. What are those goals? How am I going to achieve those goals? How are we together as a team going to collectively manifest success over the next 30 days? And every month you're going to be given the opportunity to create the next set of 30-day goals, right? So every month is an opportunity for breakthrough, for innovation, and to continue to grow and expand your people, right? So everybody's going to have an opportunity to lead, to transform, to learn how to be innovative, and to celebrate, right? Because you want to create culture. To be a force for good, you want to create a culture that encourages people to engage in meaning, to learn and grow, to improve in whatever ways will make them feel excited, to make it safe for them to take risks and be remarkable, be, high performing, and to then celebrate. So we really start to get down into, with these 30-day goals, what's going to foster all of that good, positive feeling and progress. We want to see progress every month. So 30-day goals will be updated every month to ensure you're consistently moving toward the 12-month breakthrough. To support the goals out, you were going to look at the outline of your quarterly map to see your goals for the first quarter and what you need to manifest. You're going to think about the progress you want to make on the 12-month breakthrough goal itself. Where do you want to be in its progress? What are the related performance improvements and system improvements? How can you be in service of that? So, ownership. You're going to come up with 3 goals every month and identify goals that are aligned in all the ways we just talked about, and have an owner. The owner is someone on the team who owns responsibility for driving whatever changes and implements whatever is necessary to generate new results. Wherever possible, you want to empower team members rather than the founder or the very top dogs on the team to own the goal. In other words, the closer to the action is where you want to empower the owner to be. Part of what the Force for Good system wants you to do is to train leaders. And leaders, but founders in particular, like to believe they are the ones with all the great ideas. And what happens when we do that is we create a world where our limits are the limits of the organization. And what we want to do is foster an environment where we're unlimited because we have access to the resources and the brilliance of all the other people. And then you, the leader, can step back and focus on things that only you can focus on. So this assignment of an owner is important. The goal of the owner is to always be responsible for generating progress, but it's also the person who's going to collect data every week going forward on progress of that goal. So you're going to measure progress on that goal. We're going to talk more about that in the next session, but this is the person who's going to own responsibility for both creating the outcomes of the goal and creating a way to give the data every week on the weekly acceleration ritual that we're going to implement in episode 10. Let's just do this. It's going to take about 10 minutes, maybe less. These goals. Already figured it out. Write down your 12-month breakthrough goal and let yourself take a moment, feel a sense of relief for that future moment, 12 months from now, where that goal is done. How awesome will that be? High performance culture in action to create that breakthrough. And that's how you're going to create it today. This is how we get started. This is 30-day goals. Write down the Q1 goals. So what are your 3 goals for Q1? Again, let yourself imagine 3 months from now how that's going to feel to have that progress made and how the team is going to be developing. Acknowledge that. Not just about the outcome of the goal in 3 months. It's the enrichment of your team and your overall system. This is like going to the gym to upgrade to a higher performance, higher innovation, higher transformation team. So now thinking about it that way, thinking about what you want to create over the next 30 days, the wins you want to manifest, brainstorm all the ways that you could make progress on your 3 quarterly goals in service of your 12-month goal. And as you list each one, brainstorm, maybe come up with 5, 8, maybe 10. It's okay. It's good to brainstorm. What would be the things that will demonstrate progress about a third of the way to your first quarter goals? And what will demonstrate proficiency and growth? What will build capacity, throughput into the system you need to expand in order to create, figure out? Are there projects that need to get handled? System improvement, progress made. For each of your ideas of what you want to achieve this 30 days, write down next to it who would be the person who could designate to own that goal, could really foster its completion. You or someone in your organization could help, another leader could help that person, guide them, coach them. Identify the owner of each goal. Elicit your 30-day goal. Decide on the date and write down your 3 goals that you would like to achieve. And who will own each goal. And I'd like you to consider at this moment, what would you like to do to celebrate the achievement of these goals? What could you do to celebrate? What could that look like? Maybe it's a pizza lunch, or maybe you all go bowling, or maybe you hold a virtual acknowledgement party, right? I don't know what your team looks like or how it's constructed, but what would create a great way to celebrate progress? Again, it doesn't even mean you have to complete the goal. Every month you want to celebrate progress, whatever that progress is. Put it on your calendar. What would that celebration look like? And this process of building celebration and acknowledgement creates safety, creates connection, creates belonging, right? The idea that you can celebrate wins and progress, lessons learned. Okay. So congratulations. You now have some 30-day goals where you can really focus your attention over the next 30 days, your whole company, and be of highest and best use. All right. So next, we're going to move on to key performance indicators. Take the Business Acceleration Readiness Assessment today and find out now at www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz. Take the 5-minute assessment and you will receive an instant response on the 4 essential areas of alignment needed for business growth. You will also receive 4 free tools specific to your situation to help you and your team accelerate success right away. Go to www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz and find out what you can do to accelerate, impact, scale, and profit today. Welcome back. We're on to episode number 8, which is so important. This is the topic of key performance indicators, which I got to tell you is the area that I find most business owners resist, especially to you, heart-centered, purpose-led leaders who lead through intuition, lead through inspiration. Yes, those are good things. But numbers tell a story. Tracking tells a story. Performance improvement will be minimal if you do not use KPIs. I could not be more passionate about this. If you knew me personally, you would know that I am incredibly intuitive, but I'm also very analytical. And it's the blend of the two that creates profound transformational results in your business. So, this is a topic that one cannot skip over. KPIs are how you diagnose the health and wellness of your company. The better you get at measuring your performance and your progress, your systems, your results, better you get at doing it, the more confident you will become in being able to create any breakthrough you could possibly need to have. It is how you can most efficiently, effectively, quickly, transformatively solve for any problem you encounter in your business. What gets measured gets managed. What gets measured gets improved. What gets measured gets done. These are important quotes from Peter Drucker. Data used wisely has colossal power. The aim of the weekly acceleration meeting, which we're not going to talk to until episode 10, but I'll sort of forecast and lay the groundwork in this particular episode. The aim of that meeting every week is to empower you and your team to succeed. So to accomplish whatever you want to create, key performance indicators are probably an important part of it. So we're focused on the 12-month breakthrough goal. Using data wisely will catapult you toward success really fast and efficiently. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen this happen. Work with so many teams who are adverse to numbers and tracking. In my business, where it's nurses and medical, you can have the judgment that numbers are not about people, and that's not true. What it does is it gives you a framework to have very strategic and deep conversations about how to make your business better, right? How to make your impact better. On your way to success today in this retreat, you'll need a clear way to measure progress, hopefully always progress, on your critical goals. That being your 12-month breakthrough goal, the goals you set for each quarter, your quarterly map, as well as the 30-day goals. So you need to look back on those and see, how do I measure progress on those goals? That's going to help you come together with a list of key performance indicators that are relative to your breakthrough. In your weekly acceleration meeting, you and your team will reflect on these goals and measure progress. For each of these goals, you'll need to establish a way to see where you're going, how it's going, and key performance indicators are specific measures that reveal progress over time. For each goal, you're invited to select a KPI, sometimes one, sometimes two KPIs to track weekly. Some data is hard to track weekly, and for a different time and discussion later on in the journey, you'll have certain KPIs that are appropriate to track monthly. All the data you put together in this process today needs to be readily accessible, available to track on a weekly basis, because we want to create innovation every week. We don't want to have to wait every month. So it needs to be data that we can collect every week, see how we're doing, ask ourselves what's working, what's not, how can we improve? And so the KPIs give us a really solid way to do that. The first thing you're going to want to do is choose your KPIs by looking through your goals and asking yourself, what are the best ways to measure them? Included in the companion manual is a special page dedicated to KPIs. And a listing of KPIs. I'll give you some examples of commonly used KPIs, and then you can decide which ones are best for you. Market expansion, you might show market share growth rate. Customer acquisition cost is commonly a KPI. Customer lifetime value, probably not one you want to look at weekly. It's not that you want to look at that more annually or quarterly. Sales revenues from new markets, you want to see. Trading onward, kind of quality rate, kind of compliant, regular compliant, new strategic partnership, user satisfaction, joint market, new customer, all kinds of cross-selling, upselling, right? These are all the things you want to pick most goal. And the next piece, once you identify, is to figure out who's going to be the person responsible and where are they going to get them. So you want to find the person who has the data, it report on it, and who's going to own it. Sometimes the goal might be owned by someone. So, for example, there might be a recruiting manager. You might have a recruiting manager who oversees how many people are hired, onboarded, and so the owner might be the recruiting, but there might be someone who's responsible for scheduling all of the interviews. You could have somebody in the team report to that manager who is responsible for scheduling. And so that person would be the person who owns the KPI of how many scheduled interviews, how many did we last week. So you want to choose your KPIs, identify who's the person who can own collecting data and the greatest effect on that data, who's every week going to want to improve their performance in some way, so they get higher yield. And then you're going to want to think about where does the person get the data. Is it you have a software platform that tracks all the data that you need, and you just need to run a report and extract it that way? Or is it the kind of thing where you need to keep track of it and report it? Or is it the kind of thing where you extract data and you have to run a bunch of reports and you finally get the data? So really important for this weekly data that it takes less than 5 a week for the owner to collect the data, report it. If it takes more than that for each KPI, it will not get done, and it's not efficient, and it's a waste of your time. So you want to identify KPIs that you can collect every week that are most indicative of the innovation and progress and things that would hold back success in your goal most directly. And you want to then identify the person who is going to collect that data every week. Sometimes you have multiple people recruiting and they all have to record data. Where do they get that data? How do they track it? And then we'll talk about where they put the data so that it's recorded. But who's going to own it? Where is it going to come from? The last piece you want to know is what are the goals for each of those KPIs? Say it's scheduled. So let's say scheduled interviews. You want to hire more people, really accelerate the number of people you hire by scheduling a lot more interviews than you have, right? So you might look back and say, well, how many did we schedule last week? Oh, we scheduled 25 last week. So this week, let's try to schedule 30. What could we accomplish in the first 30 days? We're setting KPI goals every 30 days and then looking every 30 days to revisit those goals and continue to produce the results we want. You'll think about what your performance goals will be for every KPI, and then you just start to track it. It might sound confusing right now, but it won't be when you get through today's retreat because it's all going to be laid out for you. So let's pick KPIs, all right? Take a moment to your being and know that KPIs are an analytical part of the journey, but it's choosing them and how you treat them, your energy that you bring to them can be way more than just your mind. Also be really important to your heart, the rest of knowing. So reflect on your 12-month breakthrough. What is it? Then write down your goals for this one. Identify, write down your 30-day goals, owns those goals. How you're getting aligned, how your team involved, and you do it measuring, thinking. So now that you have all these goals in one place, the step is to brainstorm a list of weekly metrics that you could use to track those goals. Take a few minutes right now and write down each goal and identify what the metric would be. Sales, units, the throughput, conversion rates, click-through rate. Is it some quality improvement that you're looking for? Is it a timeliness improvement that needs to improve its efficiency? Maybe a certain volume of something. Breathers. Yes, so keep writing your list. And now you're going to choose the most important metrics. Go ahead and select 3 to 5 metrics to start with. Once you get started in metrics, you're already tracking metrics. It's not scary or hard for you. But when you're getting started, it's good to start with a few and then for time, add. And as we continue on in the journey, future, I can support you. The organization can support you in helping to add layers. It's part of adding complexity. But let's start with 3 to 5. Write down the weekly metric, whatever the metric is you're going to measure, KPI. Then you're going to write down for each one where you're going to get the data and how it's going to be collected. Is it living in a system? Somebody's going to run the XYZ report. 3 weeks. Here's the data. Do they have a checklist? Or is there a Google file where they're going to put their daily totals and then at the end of the week, How are they going to do this? This takes sometimes a little innovation. How are you going to track this? Some of the most important metrics in my business, it took years to figure out how to choose and measure and collect. Get the ones that you're readily available. And then if you have an idea of what your week measurement was last week or what you generally do, write down how you're currently doing. If you don't know, a next step out of this clarity strategy is for you to go back and measure each KPI for last week. And even better, if you could look back and find data for 12 weeks back, because that's going to give you a really nice sense of data. If you don't have it, no sweat. Write down whatever the current last week's measure or what you think it is right now. And then write down what you'd like that to be yourself 30 days to make progress and decide what that goal is for each metric and who's going to own it. Who is going to be the one who collects that data and okay. All right. So we've come to the end of the KPIs. And now you have a listing of all the KPIs that are most important to you. Absolutely wonderful. Next up on our process is to design a weekly dashboard. We're going to see you in a few minutes. Take a few minutes, get some fresh air, and be well. Take the Business Acceleration Readiness Assessment today and find out now at www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz. Take the 5-minute assessment and you will receive an instant response on the 4 essential areas of alignment needed for business growth. You will also receive 4 free tools specific to your situation to help you and your team accelerate success right away. Go to www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz and find out what you can do to accelerate, impact, scale, and profit today. Hello, and welcome back. Here we are in episode about to design a weekly dashboard. This is the last step of building a plan to actualize your envisioned better future. It's a really important piece. I think if you listen to the last episode, you learned that KPIs are often the things that purpose-led leaders don't do so well. This would be the next important step. One of the things I learned over the years is that you can set up KPIs, decide on who has what KPIs even, and gosh, if you even go through to the detail of figuring out where you're going to get the data for the KPIs and how it's going to be measured. But if you don't have a simple, easy place where everybody is going to report their data, it's all going to fall apart. I promise you. As a leader, you're accountable for results, and creating systems that allow for results to come to you and for people to follow through is part of what it means to be transformative. This step, while it is kind of tactical, is really important in the grand scheme of things. This will make the rest of the journey, the weekly process of measuring, collecting, reviewing, innovating data, so natural. And once everybody gets used to it, it becomes such a habit. It's like it will build a culture of innovation. This little piece will make a huge difference. Can't express to you how important it is. So design a weekly dashboard, and it won't take you long. I promise. You've already done the work. You've already figured out what your KPIs are. So you're going to build a dashboard, and it's going to be the place where you track your key performance indicators and where every week the owner of the data is going to report the data. So you're going to build a dashboard that makes it easy for the owner to drop the data into the weekly tracker, and then you can all look at it together and analyze trends and figure out how could we create a breakthrough this week when we look at the data. So when you're setting up this piece, you're going to figure out what your dashboard looks like. The other consideration is where you want to report the data. I highly recommend to start out to use a Google Sheet or something shareable like that, where multiple people can get in and out of it and be using it and reporting. You can also work with a dashboard tool like Domo or Zoho Analytics or 90o. You can also work with, there's a whole bunch of different analytics and dashboard software out there. But I recommend you start out with simple Google Sheets. In the first column, you list out all the metrics, all the KPIs, right? You've got probably 5 or so KPIs. The next column is who's the owner. And then what's your 30-day goal, right? You already figured that out in the last session. And then you have each week what the amount is. So start with last week and have your owners go in and report last week's data, and then every week thereafter. What I love about a Google spreadsheet is that you can create your weekly ritual, which we're going to talk about in episode 10 in detail. You can create a link to that Google sheet and put it right into the agenda. So everybody can just come back every week or into the meeting invite and just click on it, upload it, open it up, put their data in, they're done. Then when you have your meeting, the dashboard is just the Google sheet. All of it's right there. And then you can just be all together looking at the same information and innovate and improve. When you download the companion manual that goes with this workshop, you will have access to a couple of templates. One's a PDF template and a Google Sheet. It's exactly the Google Sheet that I use. And I've expanded it over the years. For Force for Good, I have one Google Sheet. For my other businesses, I have separate sheets, and different people come in. There's also, where you could do it is each team has their own Google Sheet if you want, so that you can make sure each dashboard is appropriate to the people on the team. To get started, right, with these 5 KPIs that are about your 12-month breakthrough, the 30-day goals and the quarterly goals that you have in place, just use a simple Google Sheet and start that process. Build the actual dashboard. And when you have your first meeting, it's going to be really easy. You should open it up and have everybody look at the data together. All right. Congratulations. That's all it takes to be able to create your whole entire plan. Take the Business Acceleration Readiness Assessment today and find out now at www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz. Take the 5-minute assessment and you will receive an instant response on the 4 essential areas of alignment needed for business growth. You will also receive 4 free tools specific to your situation to help you and your team accelerate success right away. Go to www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz and find out what you can do to accelerate, impact, scale, and profit today. Welcome back. This is the very last episode of our one-day acceleration retreat. I hope that you have had a wonderful experience creating clarity and breakthrough for yourself and your team. I hope you are really being able to see how your core purpose and vision are all coming together into a breakthrough. And together, you're going to have this opportunity now to put your planning into motion and make it part of your regular everyday recipe, right? So the first thing I invite you to do is make sure that you have completed the full one-day plan. If you go to www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz, actionable.biz/retreat, you're going to find that you can get the companion workbook and the 1-day plan template. And with that template, you're going to be able to put in all the elements, your core purpose, company vision, 12-month breakthrough goal, top 3 strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, top 3 threats, and then quarterly milestones, 3 for each quarter, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months out, your 30-day goals, the owner, and your key performance indicators along with your weekly dashboard. So all in one place, you now have a plan to help you move everything forward. And this plan can be shared with everyone on your team and other partners. If there's certain things you don't want to share, that's your business. You can certainly decide not to do that. But this is a plan that you can use ongoing. So once you have that plan, the next step is to establish this weekly acceleration meeting. And so this is so exciting because this is the crux of the Force for Good model, having rituals in place that ensure the actions that need to take place happen. So this acceleration meeting is where all of the progress occurs. It's where your culture gets built, where you add back in, connection to your core purpose and vision every single week, every single day. You could have made it through all 9 episodes and created the map, even created your whole plan. But if you don't follow through on the acceleration meetings every week, your breakthrough will not occur. The idea is to take this plan that you've created and move it into a weekly ritual. Rituals are intentional. I use the word ritual rather than meetings because they're rituals. They're implied to be part of your culture. They're part of your culture building. And these weekly meetings need to be filled with more than just data. They need to be filled with your higher intentions for what you want to achieve in the world, what matters to you, what the purpose and convictions are. This is a really important piece. Other benefits of the weekly acceleration meeting, and this is really key. It's 52 cycles of innovation every year. A lot of businesses meet monthly. Fewer meet weekly to really review KPIs. And this is what separates good to great. Some KPIs, and we talk about this in other parts of the journey of the Force for Good system, some KPIs are measured and tracked and improved daily, right? So that you get daily cycles of innovation, daily cycles of improvement. The 12-month breakthrough goal hinges on these cycles of innovation. This is the essential habit of every continuously improving high growth, high performance company. This is it. Doing this weekly meeting where you look at numbers, you talk about progress, you connect to what's important, your purpose, your goals, and your vision. It's a designated time every single week to work on moving the company forward rather than just dealing with operational fires, phone calls, and everyday stuff. This is not the time to just have status reports of all your projects. This is an acceleration of those most important goals, which is, in this case, your 12-month breakthrough goal. It is focused time where everything else sets aside and you focus on this one area. It's a disciplined time when you choose to work on your business rather than in your business, right? I think it was Michael Gerber and E-Myth who first coined that term. Every entrepreneur, every leader knows that's the holy grail of being an entrepreneur. Is when you're in it, you're just a cog in the wheel. When you're working on it, you're systematically improving the whole business and you're creating more value for the whole company. This weekly experience is where everybody on your team, not just you, becomes facilitators of working on the business. And that's a really marvelous thing. It's a great training ground for leaders to hold this meeting and have them be present for it. always well, like, right, want to want to beginning of every week operation meeting guide is three weekly acceleration reviewing plan, right? Great. Reading. So it's important to you this company vision. And somebody every week or what's our what's our company? What's our well who could give me a strength? Who could give me a weakness? This could be a the next step is you tell you they've already put their data in. So now you look at the data and then questions you're going to be asking is what are the highlights? What did you do to create these results? And can you do more this week? What are the high actions? Things are part of your other high potency actions. And who will own these? Create a list of sheet, and every week you could say, oh, so review your dashboard, the data, and how next 30 days. Identify whether you're ahead, on track, or behind meeting the goal, and discuss specific ways to ensure it will achieve. What's working, what's not working. What are the could be amplified? What high the action needle forward? Who will own these? It's a petition. I want to get it so that everybody does this meeting, but then they discover that they're doing it in every looking for those high leverage habits with every. So this is good training for performance. Then you check in on goals for the quarter, doing for this quarter's goal. And now finally you review each of these get into a tracker, full sheet. There's a template for you. You're going to review all the commitments made so far, along with any other actions the team feels would to ensure success. And you're going to review any commitments that were made last week, right? How did those commitments? You spend time focusing on holding people accountable. And then you are in the final steps where you acknowledge what are the wins. And it's very important. Always have acknowledgments, celebrate, and make sure everybody feels like there's progress. What's the progress that we've created? Gain here this week? What are our wins? So what you need to do next as we finish up our journey today is you need to establish a weekly acceleration. So it's time to schedule your weekly meet. We're going to do that right now. This is what separates the winners from the losers. You could walk away and not do this, or you could schedule the time right now in the way that I'm going to describe, and suddenly you're just going to do the things that are on your list in a way that you wouldn't have if you didn't do this right now. First of all, you're going to ask yourself, who's going to attend this meeting? And it depends, right? It depends on how big your company is, depends on, how your company is structured. If you have a team of 5, probably want all 5. If you have 1,000 employees, you probably want your leadership team. As you continue on in the first Force for Good journey, you will add layers of complexity, and include more members of your team until everybody participates in a weekly ritual. Today, you're going to think about the match you've made so far, the 1-day plan you've created, and who is best to attend that first weekly meeting you're going to establish. So, who is going to attend? Certainly, everyone named as an owner in the data or an owner of a role needs to be there. Likely, everyone on your leadership team should be at this meeting. And anyone else you feel will move the needle is also good to have present. It's good to have inclusion and transparency. When we give people information, don't be surprised when they start to bring new wisdom and knowledge to the table, because you've empowered them and helped them understand what it is you're about. So the second question, so who you going to attend, who will attend is the first question. The second is, when will you meet? You want to look at your team calendar and decide the best day and time each week to meet and review the prior week's information. Time of day is best. When is it going to be most received by your team? When is there going to be the least amount of friction? When are people most available? Will they have enough time? You want to make sure people have time to gather the data that you've asked them to gather so that it's in there before you have the meeting every week. Set yourself up for success. Don't have it at 9 o'clock in the morning on Monday. You will probably have a lot of people that are unprepared, not ready, and feeling a sense of friction and resistance. Where will you meet? Decide where you'll meet. Will you meet physically in a specified conference room, or will you meet virtually on Teams or Zoom or some other platform? That's up to you. I've done it both ways. It is 100% doable in both ways and very effective in both ways. So you decide. If you're all in an office, then you should get together. Add flavor to it. Add your own personal experiences, like whatever your cultural rituals are, add those elements. Send out recurring meeting invite. Now, this is the game changer right here, right now. So right now, to get your transformational flywheel, which is what the Force for Good system is, spinning and creating impact, scale, and profit, send out the meeting invite, go into your calendar, set the time, include the full agenda, not as an attachment, but copy and paste the agenda so that anybody who comes into the meeting knows and is invited to the meeting knows what the agenda is. Include in the meeting invite links to where team members can update the dashboard and provide progress on their commitments, their weekly commitments. Also include the plan you just created, attach the 1-day acceleration plan, and include the location of the meeting and or Zoom links. All right, I know, go ahead, schedule it for next week, get your time in place, and invite the people, and then click send. And now it's in place. Now you are accelerating your business. You just did it. You completed all the steps. You now have completed the 1-day business acceleration retreat, and you've set up your weekly acceleration meeting. And so now you are ready for full-on growth. If you feel like you need some support, I hope you will reach out and get support directly from us. You can email Sarah at aforceforgood.biz to schedule an exploratory or discovery session. It's free, and we can help you work through any kinds of questions you have about the plan you just created. You can also join us on our next business accelerator. It's a 12-week online virtual experience. You can find that on our website. You can also choose to do a strategy session with me. You can book a 60-minute strategy session together. So all these are on the website, www.forceforgood.biz. We look forward to supporting you and continuing this wonderful journey together. I would love it if you sent me your 1-day plan so we can celebrate you together. Any questions you have, please don't hesitate to reach out. Our purpose is to make the world better through business. Our mission is to provide you with self-service tools that make acceleration and breakthrough possible so that you can achieve all of the impact that you long for in the world and all the profits that should come with building a business. And one more thing, if you haven't already, make sure you pre-order the Force for Good book. In the Force for Good book, it's not coming out until 2024, but when you order it, you'll get access to a bundle of bonuses that are incredibly empowering. So the Force for Good system has, this is one tool. Today over the course of the business acceleration retreat, you used one tool, but we have like 80 tools and it helps you at different parts of your business. When you buy the book, you get all the tools. So if you buy the book for good.biz/book, you will get all those tools in your inbox right away. All right? I hope you're well. Enjoy. Go make the world better. Take the Business Acceleration Readiness Assessment today and find out now at www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz. Take the 5-minute assessment and you will receive an instant response on the 4 essential areas of alignment needed for business growth. You will also receive 4 free tools specific to your situation to help you and your team accelerate success right away. Go to www.aforceforgood.biz/quiz and find out what you can do to accelerate, impact, scale, and profit today.